Hello, YubiTubi! This is finally a combiner video. I said I was going to do them, that I did. And I figured what the hell, I'll start with G1 Predaking. Or at least the 2010 version of G1 Predaking. As his stuff falls apart. Now this guy, let me just say this straight off the trot. This guy is insane, especially for a G1 combiner. Stuff's falling over. It's all falling over. Now, because he's so big, I've actually had to put my camera somewhere, like, right elevated right up to get him all in, and it's gonna be very awkward. So, yeah, things are gonna be awkward. At least until he separates out. But anyway, here he is in all his combinery G1 glory. And I tell you what, this guy has some serious weight to him. I mean, this is like I said, this is a 2010 reissue, so he's made of die-cast. This thing could put a hole in a wall if you threw it. I mean, seriously, you could bludgeon someone to death with this. It's just insane. And he's got these big giant feet which he can just boom. Doesn't even rock. He's just boom and he's in. And I gotta say, well, first of all, this is the official transformation. What I like to do is just pull these bits out, and that just gives him a slightly broader torso and means his arms aren't catching his feet so much. And it just adds to the gold stripe running up. Anyway, that's personal preference. I forgot where I was. But basically, Predaking, he is insane. Now just give him a quick spin around. Quick spin around so you can see there is very little kibble on this guy. Very little kibble. The wings don't plug in very securely, but you can use Razor Claw's feet here to just gently rest it on, and then it's fine. Oh, I mean, there's no holes or gaps or anything like that. And surprisingly, for a combiner, he is articulated as well. I mean, he's got waist articulation, his shoulders. Oh, yeah, this is a really awkward position that I'm filming in. That's why I sound a bit weird. But he can even twist that arm and bring his arm up. I think he can twist this arm. Yet he cannot. But he can twist that arm and lift. Don't break on me. Yeah, it's extremely stiff. This thing was mint and sealed box when I got it. I am literally the first person to use this, and the joints are insanely stiff. But he's also got his legs that can swing back and forth on both. For a G1 combiner, that is just all kinds of madness. I can see why people loved Predaking when he first came out, because this must have blown the minds of every little kid who got it. Ooh, ooh, ow, ooh. This beast is just an insane beast, and this is probably my favourite G1 combiner. That's right, I'm a Devastator fanboy, but this thing, this thing is just insane. Just so damned insane. He's got his little rifle gun there. The only criticism I have is his sword. I mean, look at that. It's more like a switchblade in his hand. Now, the one thing I did like, each Predacon has their own unique sword. The rifles are all identical. I don't have the rifle handy, but all the rifles are identical. but they each have their own individual swords as well, which I think is a very nice touch. And this is Razor Claw's sword. In Razor Claw, it's fine. It's fine, but as I say, in Predaking's hand, it's a switchblade. Those joints are just so... It's so beautiful. And something I did know, I've seen pictures of the toy, but I never noticed this until I got him in person. And he does actually have his shoulder cannons. You see these things here? They're his shoulder cannons. Now in the cartoon, yeah, they come up here somewhere. But they can't do that. There's upgrade kits. I don't know. I might get the upgrade kit. I don't know. This thing is pretty damn perfect though. Oh, Predaking, you magnificent bugger. I always thought in pictures his wings were a bit small, and that crazy Devi set where he's just the massive ones that fan out would have been just add something to him. But in person, if you get his wings positioned just right, like something like that, so they're just flaring up and out like that, something like that, they actually do fit in brilliantly with them. I mean, sure, they're not as majestic as the Crazy Devi ones, but these also won't strip your dive bomb wings. Anyway, I keep saying how big and heavy and monstrous this guy is. Let's compare him to some other G1 combiners, shall we? These are the other two combiners that I have. And I know technically this guy is G2, but it's the same mold, same size, same everything. He's just yellow. So, yeah. Yeah. There's a reason he's the king. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. That is just insane, Predaking. Absolutely insane. And I'll take them all off, and just for another comparison, he is beside a modern combiner. Here he is with Superion. So he's more or less the same height as Superion, but he is also a hell of a lot beefier and a hell of a lot heavier. I mean, this guy you can wave around easily in one hand. This guy, you try and wave him, you're struggling to pick him up in one hand. He's got that much die-cast in weight to him, and just sheer blind heft. Boomf! Oh, my word. Anyway, that is Predaking. Now, let's have a go at their individual modes. And here they all are in their robot modes. And first of all, what I absolutely love about this is they are a 5-man team that make a perfectly proportioned combiner, and each member of the team is the same size. I mean, you've got minor height differences there, but you don't have a giant among shrimps. They are all more or less the same size and the same bulk, and that's how teams should be. I was never a fan of this whole the leader is like twice as high as everyone else just because he's the middle guy. And that's just another reason why I love these Predacons so much. Anyway, may as well get a start with Dive Bomb since I'm holding him. Now, these guys, again, die-cast, so they've got some pretty good weight to them. Actually, I'll just move these guys out the way so I don't end up knocking them all over. So, here we have Dive Bomb in his robot mode. It is a very nice robot mode. he has, for a G1 Combiner figure, the most articulation I've ever seen. Listen to that. Oh, isn't that just a glorious sound? Anyway, he's got his waist, he's got knees, he's got whatever you call those joints. His arms can twizzle. And he's got posable wings. All of which is truly insane for a G1 Combiner limb figure. And to top it all off, he's got no kibble. I mean, this is integrated nicely in as a backpack. The wings are obviously a separate piece, as you saw from the Combiner, but it all integrates in nicely. He pretty much doesn't have any kibble. I mean, there's not much more to say other than to show him off. I must say these stickers do add quite a bit to him, especially on the wings. As you can see, plain black, gold. Now that's one difference between the 2010 reissue and the previous versions of Predaking. The gold was all yellow originally. But to be honest, I actually do prefer the gold. It just gives them a whole new look, whole new appearance. Anyway, there's Dive Bomb. You go over there. Next is Headstrong. The Rhinoceros guy. Oh yes, the Rhino guy. Now this guy isn't... This guy... Well, actually, to be honest with you, both the leg guys are the weakest ones. I mean, you can see, not so much Headstrong. Tantrum certainly is lanky, and you know, he still works. He's just, his proportions look slightly off. And yes, I realise I started talking about him, and now I'm talking about him. Yeah, just roll with it. But, you know, again, very little kibble, just his bull feet hanging off the back. Or his buffalo feet, or whatever you want to call them. Now, in terms of articulation, this guy has a head, but it gets stuck on this thing, which is an issue when you try and transform him as well, because you got to try and force his head around. He's got his arms can swing to and fro, and out, and in, and all that. Nothing in the legs, nothing in the waist. But, you know, he's a leg bot. He turns into a buffalo. He's G1. He works. He works for what he is. Back to Headstrong. He's nicer. He looks nicer proportioned. He only has the arm articulation like that. There is no other articulation on this guy. He is the brickiest of all of them. It has to be said. But he still wears it well. The stick is coming off. He still wears it well. With his nice golden body. It's a Rhino brick. He's no Generations Rhinox, put it that way. But then again, Generations Rhinox isn't also a combiner. And then we have Rampage, who it looks like he should have a waist swivel, but I really don't want to try and break him by rotating it, so I'm just going to leave it be. He does have his feet, legs swivels, he has his knees, and he has his arms that spin up and down. Nothing on the head, but again, he's a nice little robot. Even if you just have him as a standalone figure, you know, all of these Predacons work as a standalone figure. Maybe not the two legs, maybe not Headstrong and Tantrum, but Rampage, yeah, the Hawk guy, I forgot his name now. This guy and Razor Claw back there, those three work perfectly as just standalone figures. Dive Bomb, that's his name. Those three work as standalone figures. Absolutely brilliant. As you can see, again, very little kibble on him. Nicely proportioned. And just an all-round great figure. And then finally, we have Razor Claw, who is... Now, I'll say this guy's my second favourite of the group. Dive Bomb is my favourite of the Transformers, even though he has the simplest and least difference between his two modes. Dive Bomb is my favourite because it's just... I mean, if you just got Dive Bomb, he's just... especially considering he's a G1 figure. I mean, just the amount of articulation, the expressiveness with the wings, the whole thing, the sculpting on the backpack here. I mean, the whole thing just works so well for him. But I've already talked about Dive Bomb. You go back in place. Razor Claw. He is my second favourite. A beautiful mix of gold and black. These stickers really do add to the overall effect of him. Now, articulation wise, his arms swing up and down. He has his waist. His legs can swing. He can drop his sword. And he has his stiff, but he has his knees. So again, you can get a good range of movement on Razor Claw. And yes, he does have his tail in a very unfortunate place. And no, I am not folding it out. Yet. But overall, Razor Claw here, again, an absolutely brilliant figure. I can see why the G1 Predacons are so revered in the collecting industry. Anyway, that's their robot modes. Only one thing left. Onto their beast modes. Here they are in their beast modes. And isn't that such a precious little... Isn't that such a precious focus? Precious little group. I mean, the uniform colour scheme. The animalistic nature of them all. It's so good. I was never... I mean, I like the Predacons. I never considered these guys, like, among my top favourites of the cartoon. But looking at the group here in toy form, you have to respect them. They are an incredible group together. I mean, they just come together to form the complete package. They really do. Anyway, we'll start off with Dive Bomb. As you can see, he has the least effective transformation. I mean, it still works. He's still an eagle type thing. But yeah, he is pretty much... He's folded his legs up, he's tucked his arms in, and he's closed his mouth. That is all that has happened. And his wings have straightened out. But, you know, you look up, oh, there's his face. Oh, bless him. But I like the head sculpt on this guy. I mean, he just looks mean. He looks like he's ready to... Focus. He looks like he's ready to peck your eyes out on it. Or just swoop down and destroy you. Which is very, very effective work for the sculptors, considering his head is all one colour except for the eye. Articulation, you know, it's legs can wiggle, feet can wiggle, blah, blah, blah. I do like how he's got these little flip-out talons on his feet, though. I like that. I mean... I know I said this guy is my favourite. He's my least favourite. Oh, well. Is he my least favourite in Beast Mode? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't transform massively. but it's still effective, and he is still a fun figure. And just look how wide his wingspan is. I mean, you can just have plenty of fun going, whee! And dropping bombs on people, because his name is Dive Bomb, and he dives down and bombs people. Because he's Dive Bomb, and he bombs people. And he's not standing up straight, you silly little bird. He's fallen over. He's fallen over. Oh, Dive Bomb. Yeah, there you go. He can lean forwards. He can lean forwards in the group. Focus. He can lean forwards in the group. Okay, next we'll go with Headstrong, who is a very nice looking rhino, it has to be said. He is a brick. There is no denying that. He is a brick. But I like the way when he transforms. Focus in. When he transforms, the head is tucked away, and though you can see the head, because of the way it folds around, it's not visible head syndrome. This is just going to keep not focusing. So I'm going to have to move everyone out the way so it'll focus on what I want to show you. You silly camera. Silly, silly camera. Anyway, he is no articulation at all, except for his head. He can look side to side and up and down and be all like, that is a very interesting question you've just given me. Let me think about that for a moment. Oh, I know the answer. Yeah. And then just stab you with his horn. I'm not making a horny joke. And then there's the other foot, the other one who likes to run up and stab people with his horns. The Tantrum. Yes, I forgot his name then. Oh, no! He's a very nice mechanicalized bull. Or is he a buffalo? Because of his hump here, I'm going to say this guy is a buffalo. I mean, the horns aren't sharp. They're very rounded. But, there you go. That's Takara. Safety. Health. Something or other. Bull. Buffalo. Not a bull, a buffalo. He has no tail. Headstrong had no tail either. Oh! But you can see his head there. But that's okay, because he can't look up. And if he goes over like this, then you've gone cow tipping, and apparently that's illegal in some places. Again, his only articulation is his head, which can only swing side to side that much. And if you unclick it, he can look down. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stab that little cookie seller. Yeah. Apparently he had a bit of a wild weekend. Now there is something, I never display them like this when they're in, what's its face? In my display, but the feet, the Predaking feet, are actually giant cannons, and yes, they are actually different. I know, it's crazy. What you can do is stick your big cannon on him, and stick your big cannon on him, and then you've got a rhino and a buffalo with giant dual cannons on their backs. And then they can just run around, stab people, and shoot people. Because that's what wild animals do when they get pissed off. Yeah, apparently. Why not? Dare I say, why not? Points if you get that reference. And then there is the two felines. Maybe I'll bring the felines in together. Rampage and Razorclaw. So we'll start with this guy. He's not focusing. Start with Rampage. Again, he's a nice robotic kitty. He does have visible head syndrome. It's right there under his chin. It's generally okay unless he's pouncing up to kill you. But as he is a cat, I imagine he would be doing that quite often. But, He's a nice, clean figure again. He's got hollow legs. It's a shame because all of the other Predacons managed to hide them quite nicely. But, okay, he's G1. I guess you gotta cut them some slack. It's just a shame because everything else in this set is so amazing. Articulation-wise, his legs can do that and that. And again, his face, his whole head can look from side to side and go, huh? Where's my Scooby Snacks? I don't know why he's going for Scooby Snacks. He's a cat, not a dog. But there you go. And he can also look up and go, ooh, Scooby Snacks are up there. Woof, woof. Meow. He is a good figure. And then, leader of the group, Razorclaw. A nice black lion with gold highlights. Focus, oh Mr. Focus. Why don't you... There you go. He's a black lion with gold highlights. And I have to say, I really love the look of this guy, even though he's got hollow legs. So ignore what I said about Razorclaw earlier. No, not Razorclaw. Rampage. Ignore. Come on, they're both cats that start with R. Give me some slack. But, oh, hang on. I just realised I forgot to do something. When you transform him into Predaking, his thighs come out. What you want to do is push them together like that for Robot and Beast mode. Oh dear, I appear to have done it a little erroneous. I must apologise immediately. So there is your lion again. And like I say, these gold stickers really add to the overall effect of him. And, you know, he's got his legs that go up and down and his paws there. He has visible head syndrome underneath. But again, what can you do? What can you do? You can just not display your figures like that. That's what you can do. I mean, like I say, from all the other angles, it's tucked away very nicely. You can't see it. And, you know, Razorclaw, he is a very nice lion. And each one of these things has a really good heft of chunk to him. And he can also spin his head around and muse on the whole meaning of life thing and look up and go, oh, that's a tasty Titan. Well, you know, Titan Wars is all the rage at the, will be, so. Oh, that's a tasty combiner. Whatever. His stick is wonky. So there we have it. He is a very nice lion. Overall, and like his compatriots, if I can find where it ran off to, you can take his gun. You can take Razorclaw's little gun and just peg it in like that. And then he has a lion with a two-barreled gun on his buttocks, I guess. It looks like his tail's holding it up as well. I like that little feature. That's pretty nifty. Or you can put it in combined mode and just have a big giant rifle. It's very quick and easy to transform this thing. So I'll just show you that. Because I always used to wonder how that transforms from a dual barrel thing to a single. Now you've just seen me do it, so you know. So everyone's happy. Yeah. And there you go. He's a lion with a big giant rifle on his back. You gonna go hunt lions? Lions hunt you now, boy. So there we have it. The G1 Predaking. G1 Predacons as well. An absolutely amazing set of figures. I cannot praise this set highly enough. I seriously cannot. If you like G1 Transformers, if you like Combiners, if you just want a really amazing set of toys. Get the G1 Predaking. Because even if you go for one of the other versions and not the 2010 version, focus, not the 2010 version, just the standard version with the yellow, go for it. Absolutely go for it. I cannot recommend this set enough. And in terms of combining kibble, you got that gun, you got that foot, you got that foot, you got his two hands, and you got his head. That is it in terms of combining kibble. Considerably better than the Scramble City guys, or someone like Devastator who's got chest plates and connector ports and thighs and forearms flying around everywhere. The only combiner more fully integrated than this is Lyokazer. And as much as I would love to get my hands on a Lyokazer, that's not going to happen for a price I'm willing to pay. But G1 Predaking, G1 Predacons, just so utterly amazing. I've had these guys a fair few months now, and I still get blown away by just how incredible they are. Seriously, if you get the chance to buy these guys, get them. You will not be disappointed. Unless you get disappointed with the general G1-ness of it all. But as long as you like G1 toys, get these figures. They are amazing.